Hi grade 8s, welcome back to another one of our video lessons. So today we're going to continue with topic 9, which is algebraic equations. So remember before this we were doing algebraic expressions, so there were no equal signs, and then we said equals and we worked out what that expression equal to. Now we're going to do algebraic equations where we already have an equation which equals to something and we have to find the unknown that makes that equation balanced. Okay? So before we continue, I'm going to introduce some new terms. So a linear equation is an equation where the highest exponent of the variable is 1. Okay, so if I have an equation saying like 2x plus 3 equals to 5. Okay, so this is an equation because it has an equal sign. And think of an equation as a scale that balances. Okay, the equal sign is the thing that balances left and right, meaning that 2x plus 3 is equal to 5. Okay, so this equation is a linear equation because the highest power of x is 1. Okay, then we can have a quadratic equation. It's where the highest power of x is now 2. Okay, so we could have something like x squared equals to 16. Okay, it's an equation with an equal sign, and the highest power is 2, so this is a quadratic equation. Okay, and then an inverse operation is two mathematical operations that have an opposite effect. So additive inverse is the two numbers with positive and negative signs that are the same. When we add them, we always get a 0. And when we multiply or divide by 1, we get the same number. Okay. Right, so now let's go to the next page on page 83. We're going to do a worked example. So right at the top, so it says, think of a number. Add negative 20 and multiply the answer by negative 3. The answer is 45. What is your number? Okay, guys, remember with word problems, we always have to denote what our unknown is. Okay, so say, let the number be x. Okay, so we say, let the number equal x. Okay, all right. So now what we need to do is we need to listen to the words or read the words and translate them into maths. Okay. So think of a number. We've got that number. Our number is x. Okay. Add negative 20. So we're adding negative 20 to that. Okay. And multiply the answer by negative 3. So whatever this answer is, we have to multiply by negative 3. Okay. The answer to that is 45. Okay. So now that's the story they told us. We need to now work through these brackets, get the unknown, which is the x, take all the other numbers to the other side and solve the equation. Okay. So remember, first we start with the brackets. So here we have a positive and a negative being multiplied. So we can say that that will equal to x. Plus times a minus is a minus 20. Multiplied by a negative 3 equals to 45. Okay. So all I've done is I've multiplied those two in there to get minus 20. Now we can multiply these two brackets together. Remember, when we have a bracket or a number outside the bracket, we multiply this into the bracket into every term. Okay. So let's do that. Negative 3 times positive x. Positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 1 is a 3 and x. Okay, so negative 3x. Then we multiply negative 3 and negative 20. Negative times a negative is a positive. 20 times 3 is 60 equals to 45. Okay. Right, well, now we need to isolate x. So here's our negative 3x. Let's keep it here. Let's take this 60 to the other side. Remember, as it crosses over the equal sign, or your terms change sign. So if it was negative, it becomes positive. If it was positive, it will become negative. Okay, so this will be minus 3x, which equals to 45 minus 60. Okay, and this means it's minus 3x equals to negative 15. All right. So we have negative 3x equals to negative 15, but remember we wanted to find what is x. So we have to divide both sides. Okay, so we have minus 3x equals to negative 15. We have to divide both sides by whatever the coefficient of x, whatever that is. Okay, so here it's negative 3, so we're going to divide by that negative 3 so that it would exactly cancel, leaving us just the x. But whatever we do to the left, we must do to the right in order to keep the scales balanced. Okay, so we divide by minus 3 over there. What do we get? These two cancel each other out. We get an x, which equals to negative over negative, gives us a positive. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So it's a positive 5. Okay, guys, so that is how we solve our equations. Okay, so if you run through the example, they're pretty much doing the same thing. They are, look, they have a different order. They divide by 3 straight away, but we do it later. So the point is that we get to the same answer. Okay. Right, so let's continue. So what we're going to do next is go to the next page. And we're going to do exercise 9.1. Okay, so I'll help you with these. So number 1 says, solve these equations by inspection. Okay, so by inspection means don't work it out, look at it and try to figure out the answer in your head. Okay, so the first ones are quite straightforward. They shouldn't take much time. And then 2 and 3, 4 and 5, we're going to work out. Okay, so let's look at some of these in 9.1. So I'll do 1a. Okay, so 1a says 8 plus y equals to 25. Okay, 8 plus y equals to 25. So instead of now solving for y, taking things left and right and subtracting, what we are doing is we are thinking, right? What must we add to 8 so that we get 25? So think of the scales balancing. Well, 8 plus what will give me 25? Well, let's think. The easiest way to do it is to say, well, 25 minus 8, and that will give us 17. Okay? Or you could do it in your head. You could try to fit the numbers, add them, and see if you get 25. So here we know that y must equal to 17. Okay, because 8 plus 17 will give us 25. All right, so let's look at B. 2x equals 82. 2x equals 82. So what must we multiply by 2 to get 82? Well, it's got to be half of 82. So when we add the 2 halves of 82 together, we get 82. What is half of 82? It's 41. 2 times 41 gives me 82. X equals 41. All right, guys, so that's how I want you to reason through these. So work through number 1, see if you can work them out in your head. And yeah, let's go to number 2. Number 2 says, solve these equations and check your solutions. A, what should be added to 92 to get 170? Okay, so our unknown is going to be x. So what should we add to 92 to get 170? So 92 plus x equals to 170. Okay. So what we've done here is we've translated from words into equation or an equation. Now we need to solve for x. So now, yes, we can do the method of inspection, but they also said check your answer. Okay, so rather than just guessing the answer and trying to fit this number, we're going to actually work it out. So remember, to find the unknown, we need to take all the numbers to the right, all the variables to the left. So there's only one x, so we keep it on the left, we take the 92 to the other side. So x would equal to 170 minus 92. Remember, the sign changes to a negative, right? So x would equal 170 minus 92. Okay, let's do it quickly. 170 minus 92. 0 minus 2 gives us an 8. We have to borrow 1. Okay, then we got 6 minus 9, so we borrow 1. So that's 16 minus 9 is going to give us 7. So that is 78. Okay, so 78 and 92 will give us 170. Okay, that is x. Right, B, the product of two numbers is 160. One of the numbers is 8. Find the other number. Okay, so the product of two numbers is 160. One of the numbers is 8. Okay, so one of the number is x. One of the number, or the other number, is multiplied by 8. And the product is, what did they say? 160. Okay, remember, the product is multiplication between the two numbers. The product of these two numbers is 160. One of our numbers is 8. So we need to find the other number. How do we do that? Well, we have to get rid of this 8. So let's divide both sides by 8. Divide by 8. These two cancel, leaving us with an x, which equals 16 divided by 8 will give me a 2 plus the 0, which is 20. Okay, and x equals to 20. All right, guys, I want you to try number 2, C and D yourself. So it's testing your understanding of the words and your ability to translate that into an equation and solve your equation. Okay. Number 3, substitute the value of x in order to find the value of y in these equations. Okay, so we're giving you an equation with two variables, x and y. And we're telling you find y when x equals to something. Okay, so let's do 3a. Okay, so we have y equals x squared minus 2. Okay, that's what they told us. If x equals to minus 4. Okay, so they're telling us x is minus 4. They want us to find the value of y. Okay, so remember here we are substituting values for variables or x's. So what we're going to do is use brackets. Okay, so y equals x, we're going to put in the value of minus 4. So open bracket, put in the value of minus 4 for x, and then close bracket, put the square outside. Minus 2 equals, now we're going to square negative 4. Okay, guys, if you're struggling to visualize this and figure this out, what you can do is you can write it out. So it's minus 4 times minus 4, because that's what the square is. It's the same thing multiplied by itself twice. Minus 2. This equals negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 4 is positive 16. Minus 2 equals 16 minus 2 is 14. Okay. Guys, so it's pretty straightforward. So number 3, I want you to do the rest of them. So it's the same principle. There's just different equations, different values of x. But as long as you put things into brackets, you should be all right. Okay. Right, let's look at number 4. The sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 39. What are the 3 numbers? Okay. The sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 39. What are the 3 numbers? Okay, so it may seem like an impossible question. Okay, which 3 consecutive numbers can possibly sum up to 39? And yes, we could sit there and count them and add them, and we'll know if it's not enough, we need to go up. If it's too much, we need to go down. So yes, we could find it using trial and error. But what we're going to do is we're going to use maths to actually figure it out. Okay, so we have 3 numbers, 3 consecutive numbers. So if I have numbers, say 2, 3, and 4, okay, what is the difference between these numbers? consecutive numbers mean it's the next number. So we add one more to get the next number, okay? So what if I say to you, let me just get a different pen. That's not what I want to say to you. What I want to say to you is that, what if we let the first number be x, okay? So let first number equal x, right? Whatever that number is, we don't know. What would be the number after this number x? Do we know? Yes, we do. It would be x plus 1. Because whatever number x is, it's a number. To get the next number after that number, we add 1 to it. Okay? So the second number equals x plus 1. Right? And the third number equals x plus 2. Because if that's the first number, we add 1 to get to the second number, add another 1 to get to the third number. Okay, so there's our three numbers. So now they're telling us these three consecutive numbers add up to a sum of 39. So it's x plus 1. Okay, I'll put it into brackets. We don't need to, but I just want to show you that it's the whole thing that we are adding. Plus x plus 2. And all of that equals to 39. Right, well, now we can drop the bracket. So everything is positive. So if we multiply the plus in, nothing is going to change. So I'm going to drop the brackets without rewriting everything. Okay, you guys can rewrite it without brackets. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add like terms. X, and x, well, that gives us 3x. Plus 1 plus 2, that is plus 3 equals to 39. Right, well, we got this 3, we're going to take it to the other side, and we have 3x. So 3x equals 2. Take the 3 to the other side, it will become negative. So 39 minus 3 will be 36. Okay, now what we're going to do is we want to get rid of this coefficient of 3, so we're going to divide both sides by 3. That cancels with that, leaving us with the x, which equals to 36 divided by 3 is going to be 12. Okay, so to answer the question, remember, the question said not what is x. We made up x. Okay, the question said, what are the three numbers that we are looking for? So once we've done this, what you're going to say, therefore, the three numbers are, okay, so if the first number is 12, we add 1 and add another 1. So there are 12, 13, and 14. Okay, and now that's answering the question. All right, guys, so if you look at number 5, it's a similar word problem. I want you to try that yourselves and see how far you get. So twice a number added to 16 is equal to 42. Find the number. Okay, so start with the x. What is your x? Well, it's the number that we are looking for. And then build the story around that x. Okay, and try to solve it. All right, guys, so we are going to, well, we're almost done with this section. So in the next lesson, we're going to actually solve equations. So we've pretty much been solving equations this whole time, but we're going to solve more equations in exercise 9.2. And then we got the revision section to, well, for you guys to do after this section. Right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I'll see you in the next Skype session and the video lesson. Okay, take care.